Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's second shot at love coming to an end.
What's the best part of this chapter and being married to Ben?
There's so many things. I mean, you don't have enough time right now.
Ben Affleck was spotted in high spirits as he arrived back in Los Angeles with ex-wife Jennifer Garner and their middle child, Finn, on the same day as his 2-year wedding anniversary to Jennifer Lopez.
Remember when Ben Affleck was struggling with his bottle addictions? Jennifer Garner was the only one who took him to rehabilitation so he could be treated. Well, it seems like Garner can't see her men getting dumped by J-Lo again after she's bored with him. The news of this divorce has not come as a shock to many fans, as most of her fans were already aware of J-Lo's relationship schedule. But why is Garner caught in the middle of the Bennifer drama, and what does she have to say about it? Let's dive in. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck finally ended their relationship again. After 2 decades of love, 2 engagements, 2 weddings, and more headlines than we can count, Jennifer Lopez has officially filed for divorce from Ben Affleck, and that too on their wedding anniversary.
There was that moment where you have to tell your kids, hey, we're breaking up, and that kind of shatters their...
So now word on the street is that Ben Affleck's ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, felt a bit exploited after getting pulled into the drama between him and Jennifer Lopez. As the divorce news broke, sources shared that Garner had been spending more time with Affleck, trying to help him and Lopez work things out, while also supporting his sobriety. A friend of hers mentioned Jen feels slightly used as a pawn in J-Lo's bid to repair her marriage. She doesn't believe it was intentional. The source also added that Garner was forced to play mediator in an attempt to smooth the couple's issues and preserve Affleck's sobriety, but when Jen realized her ex-husband's marriage is about to end, her only concern was Ben's well-being and sobriety. For those curious about what kind of sobriety we're talking about, let me explain, keeping it short. Not too long ago, Affleck struggled with alcohol addiction, leading him to rehab multiple times. He's never shied away from discussing his personal battles, particularly his fight with alcoholism. Throughout his career, he's been open about it, sharing details about his family history and his multiple stints in rehab. But it changed when Ben married Jennifer Garner. When he married Jennifer Garner in 2004, it was a big turning point for him. People close to him noticed a positive shift, crediting Garner for the change. The couple, who later had 3 kids, eventually went their separate ways in 2015. Now, amid the divorce, Ben Affleck has been leaning on his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, for some support while he's dealing with his divorce from Jennifer Lopez. So maybe this explains why Jennifer Garner is worried about his sobriety once more. Now we don't know why she might be so worried about him. Is it because of the sake of her kids? Or is there something brewing behind the scenes? Let me tell you this. Whatever her feelings are for Ben, it appears that Lopez doesn't like Garner's involvement in her personal matters with Ben. A source even told the outlet that Garner's friends were extremely unimpressed with how J-Lo leaned on Affleck during their divorce. Given how complicated things were, she was put in the middle, and her friends think, no matter how you look at it, a man's ex-wife should never have to play mediator in a divorce from his new wife, they said, especially when said wife was a big love who Jen was, compared to, throughout their 13-year marriage. She is happy that Ben is now happy, but that's not all. Garner also seems to be affected by their divorce, as her children are the center of attention by the media as well.
You can't buy parenting. You have to get down on the floor and play, at least a little bit. Even if you're a super busy mom or dad, you have to find time for your kids.
And she doesn't seem to like it at all. A close insider recently told Fox News Digital that Garner was caught off guard by Affleck's rekindled romance with Lopez and all the media buzz that followed. Jennifer Garner felt blindsided by Ben's relationship with J-Lo, the source shared. She doesn't like her kids being in the spotlight so much, and it's been tough for her.
Jen's a great mom. She's been very cooperative, co-parenting. Both of us understand that what's probably the most important for the parents of divorced kids is for the children to see that the parents respect one another.
Garner and Affleck have 3 kids, Violet, 18, Serafina, 15, and Samuel, 12. Garner has always been fiercely protective of their privacy. However, with all the buzz surrounding Affleck and Lopez's high-profile marriage, it's been a non-stop parade of paparazzi, and Garner is definitely not happy about it. She doesn't like the constant attention around her kids because of Jennifer Lopez's fame, another source revealed. According to Us Weekly, a source revealed that Ben and Jennifer are friends, and they have a great co-parenting relationship. The insider also mentioned that both Affleck and Garner mutually understand that their kids come first, and that they also get along really well.
You are.
As for the exes, things between Jen Garner and Ben are healthy in terms of co-parenting.
We do our best. We do try our best.
There's a deep level of trust and respect between them, which has been a big support for Ben as he works through his breakup with Jennifer Lopez. It's not just the flashing cameras and headlines that are getting to Garner. There's also been a lot of buzz about the state of Ben and J-Lo's marriage, and that's taking a toll on her as well. As In Touch Weekly was the first to spill the beans about Bennifer's relationship hitting a rough patch. They posted, "The writing is on the wall, it's over. They're headed for a divorce, and for once, Ben's not to blame." The source also added that Ben is now concentrating on his work and kids, hinting that he's already moved out, and the couple might be considering selling their dream house. Well, as we all know, the couple's love relationship is literally almost 2 decades long. Then why might they be splitting again? It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why did J-Lo and Ben decide to call it quits? Neither of them has given any details about the split. So, what's behind their decision to divorce after just 2 years of marriage? Well, we have all the answers. Back on May 17th, an insider shared with Us Weekly that J-Lo and Ben had begun to hit some rough patches a few months ago. Apparently, Jen's growing work commitments and her preparations for her tour were starting to create tension. Jennifer is very focused on work. They are on 2 completely different pages most of the time, the insider revealed. Now, in addition to that, a lot of fans were also speculating that the divorce might have happened due to the upcoming P. Diddy case. That will be investigated, I guess. Anyway, another source from Us Weekly added that financial strains and parenting issues had only intensified the problems. A few days later, on May 21st, Entertainment Tonight caught up with a source who said, "Ben feels like Jen has a hard time feeling satisfied, and that's one of the issues they're facing. Ben is one of the only people who feels comfortable enough to be honest and real with Jen. It's part of why Jen loves him, but also why she's upset with him." Then, more recently in July, the Daily Mail reported from a source close to the situation that Ben wasn't exactly the person J-Lo had envisioned. The relationship had taken too much of a toll on her, and because of this, she has lost sight of who she is and what she stands for. In other words, things weren't exactly sunshine and rainbows, and it looks like they might stay pretty messy. On the flip side, Lopez is reportedly feeling heartbroken about her choice to split from Affleck. According to a source, Lopez is all set to move on after spending the majority of the summer separated from him amidst all the divorce chatter. But here's a twist in the drama. Affleck, who was helped by Lopez to rediscover his family man side, was spotted looking pretty downcast with his iPhone in hand as he left the theater, while Finn was all smiles. He was dressed casually in a blue long-sleeve shirt over a gray t-shirt, khaki pants, and Nike sneakers. And few of the sources are even suggesting that Ben has already found his new boo. A lot of people say that everything happens for a reason, but fans are still reeling from the news. Though, honestly, it wasn't a huge surprise given all the rumors flying around. Now that Ben Affleck is going through another divorce, the big question is, will he keep leaning on Jennifer Garner for support as he recovers from this messy split? Or will he focus on being himself and taking care of his kids? Only time will tell what choice he'll make. Are you Team J-Lo or Team Garner? Let me know which one you are in the comments down below. And let's see what video YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next.